Welcome back to What's Your Skincare Routine with LeAura Luciano, where your skincare journey connects with culture, creativity, and tech. And today, they meet in the shadows of one of literature's greatest myths, Frankenstein. But this isn't just any monster movie. This is a lifelong dream of director Guillermo del Toro, over 25 years in the making. He's adapted Mary Shelley's Frankenstein with a focus on empathy, family, and what it means to be seen as monstrous or human. Del Toro calls this project his personal Bible, something he wanted to make before he even knew how to direct. And you see it in every frame. This adaptation isn't just a horror story, but a meditation on forgiveness, grief, and creation, on screen and behind the camera.
The movie is the best experience I've ever had shooting a movie. I think it's incredibly personal, and at the same time, it's like sending your kid to school.
Yeah.
You get nervous, send it out into the world and pray for the best. Well, I think that it's never been more intimate and more epic at the same time. It has elements of fairy tale, fable, and basically for me it's a Catholic boy's reflection about what it is to be a father and what it is to be a son, and how you turn into a father while you're being a son, and then you have to apologize to your kids. I think the emotion, the purity of emotion, it's a very emotional movie, very full of new angles on the creature, new angles on all the characters that are revealing a lot of humanity of all of them.
I was invited to a screening and I wasn't ready for how moved I'd be. Like, literal tears. There's so much more than monster horror. There's heartbreak, hope, and so much style. It's a feast for your eyes. The artistry isn't just on screen, it lives in every detail. And I think even subconsciously on the red carpet details, the fabrics that mirror the film's emotional palette, worn by the actors who played those roles. What sets Frankenstein apart? For his role in the film, actor Jacob Elordi transforms into the creature through a daily 10-hour ritual involving 42 prosthetic pieces. This wasn't just makeup, it was a full process. He also trained in Japanese Buto dance, studied the Book of Job to physically and emotionally embody the creature's isolation and resilience. Originally, Andrew Garfield was cast, but left due to scheduling. So Del Toro selected Elordi for his expressive eyes and ability to convey innocence and pain, and it is something that shows in every scene. And I will say, even with all the makeup and prosthetics, Jacob Elordi is still baby girl.
I mean, I had sort of 3 or 4 weeks to get ready to play the creature, so I didn't have a lot of time to think really. So I just kind of had to do. You know, you had to make sure I was a blank canvas and make sure I was open to the process. You know. I mean, I really just came into a world that was occupied by such talented, specific artists. So all I had to do again was just make sure that I was open to the process. It really wasn't my world to step into. It was Guillermo del Toro's, you know, and I understand his cinematic language, and I have since I was small. You know, I said earlier that he built my dreams, really, since I was probably, 10 or 11 years old. So you know, I was just really grateful to step into the world. Because it's Guillermo del Toro's, I'm elated to be here.
And when it comes to the visuals, the world building is lush. Tamara Deverell's sets merge glowing laboratories, handcrafted miniatures, and these mythological elements like the Medusa-topped green glass columns and Gothic marble labs to bring a painterly realism to the film.
And I designed the sets, help pick the locations, work very closely with Guillermo. I'm one of the earliest people on, and I'm like the architect. You know, we had over 110, I think, at the end, locations and sets combined. So it was a lot of work. I had a very nice long prep, which I really appreciate, which is mostly due to Guillermo's desire to really embrace the design. You know, he's an artist and a collaborator and an amazing person to work with as a director. Everybody in the film, you know, from the carpenters to the laborers to the set designers are amazing, and we did so much hand building on the show, and I think it shows. So many things are just handcrafted, and that's Guillermo. I mean, he envelops that. He loves that, and you know, layers and layers of paint and design and building up and greens even. I mean, a huge shout out to my team, and the reason Guillermo likes to come back to the same people that he's used is because they deliver, you know, and I think I deliver for him. I get him.
And speaking of beautiful and ornate, costume designer Kate Hawley worked with Tiffany & Co. to weave 27 authentic jewels from the 1850s into the characters' costumes, infusing history and symbolism. The film was also shot using wide angles and diffusion filters, so every frame looked like a haunted oil painting. The film envelops you in color. Think stormy blues, deep greens, and passionate reds. Del Toro's...
It was mammoth. It was a huge production, and Guillermo's ideas are big, you know. So it was, look, I tell you what, every project tests you, and this one did, but it was an amazing reward at the same time, and a wonderful team to be collaborating with, and we all work together so well. So bloody exciting and wonderful, really. Yeah.
Frankenstein is less about horror and more about becoming. Its beauty, its empathy, and the courage to forgive ourselves and others, even when the world only sees a monster. With Victor Frankenstein, Oscar Isaac brings a rock star energy, like Mick Jagger meets David Bowie, but every color whispers deeper truths. In Del Toro's vision, color is code. Victor is haunted by red. His gloves, scarf, and childhood scars all signify passion, trauma, and obsession. His world contrasts with icy blues that we also see in the screen, the gothic shadows, and sudden pops of saturated color. Color also transcends wardrobe. It's in lighting, set design, and even makeup. Del Toro and his team use these hues as psychological signatures. So you have that red that embodies Victor's pain, green for life and nature, and blue for that chilling loneliness and isolation. It's storytelling painted in every frame.
It feels amazing. It feels amazing to be able to be here supporting Guillermo's vision. You know, he poured his whole heart into this. It's something he's been working on for 30 years. So to be here with him, finally sharing it with the world is amazing. Well, a lot of conversations with Guillermo, a lot of talking about our own personal biographies and how we can, show that in the characters that we're playing. You know, it's about fathers and about the things that we inherit and then becoming fathers and the things that we pass on to our kids and how to sometimes break the cycles of pain and trauma and how to get to a place of forgiveness. Well, I think this adaptation is special because it's Guillermo's vision of it. He's taken Mary Shelley's book and absorbed it in such a cellular level, and the way that it's presented is through a very Latin American point of view. It has all of the operatic elements. It's melodramatic in a beautiful way. It's highly emotional, and it's all his vision.
And when it comes to Jacob Elordi's creature, it's both terrifying and tender. His skin tells a story. The sutures themselves are a patchwork of survival, and light bounces off the scars, and the makeup blends old-school craftsmanship with modern precision. He looks like a living sculpture, stitched with loss and longing. And you can't look away because every imperfection feels deeply human.
It was exhausting, and it was wonderful at the same time to be able to create...
Rewarding.
Being able to create the most famous literary monster of all time was very, very honored to do, and we're very, very flattered. Oh, fantastic. Guillermo's like the best director for an artist can deal with, and us being able to apply the monsters to Jacob Elordi was just a dream come true. The man was a consummate professional, and he wore that makeup, sat in that chair for 10 hours and never complained once. It was magical.
Felt like it was meant to be.
Mia Goth creates characters in the film, both butterfly and ghost. Her gowns shimmer with tulle and transparent fabrics. that seem to float through the air, defying gravity. And her jewelry amplifies the tone of each scene. Each look bridges natural and supernatural, embodying Del Toro's fascination with women as muse and mirror. For the film, Tiffany & Co. lent 27 historical jewels to deepen authenticity and mood, crafting both Elizabeth and Claire's visual identities with pieces that tell a story of metamorphosis, nature, beauty, and symbolic power.
It's so special. I mean, the entire experience has been totally surreal and magical, and I'm so proud of our movie, so to come here tonight feels great. I'm very proud of our film. What was it like? A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure. But the pressure was good. Once I stopped fighting the pressure and I just used it, it helped. Amazing. I was a fan of Guillermo and everyone that was a part of this movie, and I only walked away an even bigger fan after the experience that we had. Because it's Guillermo del Toro making Frankenstein.
When it comes to the visuals, you're seeing Arctic snow, confrontation scenes, candlelit hands reaching. At its heart, Frankenstein is about forgiveness, the rarest form of creation. Victor strives to forgive himself. The creature learns to forgive existence itself. Here, forgiveness is the bridge to art and life, destruction and love. And sometimes they're misunderstood reflections of us. I could talk about this film all day. Frankenstein isn't just cinema, it's a mirror for our own becoming. Beauty, art, and story intertwine to ask, what makes us human? Thank you for joining me on What's Your Skincare Routine with LeAura Luciano. See you next time for more tales from the intersection of creativity, beauty, and identity. Until next time, stay glowing.